Oh, started not so smoothly. But I think it's not too much of a problem, because today is Sunday. Almost 2 a.m. in the morning, but I guess it doesn't matter too much because I'm still a young guy in his 20s. So, yeah, just trying to live young, die fast. So, dude. So, guys, how are you doing? I'm so pumped to be back on YouTube, especially as this occasion, because um, because of you, I have survived until now. This last 2 years have not been easy, fellas. You know, my mom's passing and my father's abuse later on when my mental health problem just totally just broke down and I was just so unfortunately fell into the control of my father for the last 2 years. So now I'm back. I am so back. I'm so back. So I'm pretty happy today. One advice that homie Farragut tell me is that, bro, like, yeah, it's just advice. And I feel like I really just appreciate his advice. So, you know, right now, although I am not making a lot of money, but at the meantime, I feel like I'm fighting for it. I feel like I'm getting a glimmer of what I was having when before all those things crashing down, and I'm really getting back on track to like improve myself, step on the right track little by little, and it's really something that I could not do by myself. It's up to you that have supported me, encouraged me alongside the way, and especially, like today, I actually attended my father's birthday, and you guys know that I pretty much have a relationship with my father, just like the relationship between Trump and Obama. Although we are related, but Trump is just a stingy ass fucking petty bitch. But Obama was cool. So I think like it's definitely a metaphor that I didn't use very properly, but it can to some extent because my Mandarin was always so terrible. It is really not my Mandarin is so terrible, bro. Like it's like I actually have a good Mandarin pronouncing. Like speaking of Mandarin. Okay, what do you want? Like just to pronounce Mandarin well. Okay, fucking got it. Easy work. Okay, sorry, I did that gesture. It's a goal for me, but like I just really could not really get into that kind of task-oriented system where Mandarin was seen as, I think the most fucking useless and futile and empty class that we have. back in high school and high school, middle school, college. So I just think it's pathetic that, like, I feel like Mandarin should be about, our culture, as a pro-Chinese, and we have a quite diverse culture where there's a lot of ethnicities, and some of them um, racial minorities in China, which I think that we definitely are very different. It's true in China. It's true because like the racial minorities in China, they basically don't enter this educational system fairly, and they also do not enter the system of being treated equally, fairly, at all. And I do have sympathy for them, but at the meantime, I do have a lot of, jealousy for them because, um, as I always say, I'm trying to step away from politics, and unfortunately, I just step into it a little bit, and it's pretty sensitive. One thing is that I connected to racial minority in China, and in high school, I know uh, girls. It was quite nice, and we were chatting when we were in school, and she's like, "Yeah, like we just need to have a score over 300 points to make us college. Okay, that is enough. It's just over 300 points. That's gonna just enroll us into college, and for majority, which is me, a real pro-Chinese dude, and what we face is not only 200 more points to get enrolled in a college. It's not only that. We also have provisional differences. Let's say if you are in a developed city, let's say Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, dude, like you have better teaching resources, school resources. They can definitely make you better. And as meantime, you have a lower scoring line as meantime. So I feel like this education system in China is pretty pretty much an abomination, and it's just so fucking distorted. I don't even know how to describe it, bro. But I guess like although I always like to point out problems because I do have a passion about my country. I want my country to really get better. But like easy mistake, like not viewing each individual fairly, DEIs, like massive DEI, it just not only DEI, but city EI, okay? This is pretty horrible. And so, like, let's say if you're in Beijing, dude, you can be pretty much of a retard like me, and you can be enrolled in one of the most elite college in China. But if you're in this province that I live in, you can pretty much be a genius and you're probably gonna be just uh, accepted by the average colleges in China. So I feel like this major uh, thing that I'm just really disappointed about. But the most important thing is that, yeah, I'm disappointed about that, but I'm way over that stage, Now is, kids they have to face this educational system that's just so fucking distorted and ridiculous that there's no way but to adjust, no protest. Okay, so 谢谢抖音上面的朋友进来点关注，我会很感谢你们。So I feel like I was being like quite serious on this talking points, but I actually have told about this too much, because right now I got a couple of my nephews that are pretty lagging at school. Okay, it's just say it that they are not going to make college, right? Okay, that's what's gonna happen, and that's not a good thing for mainstream perspective, because yeah, my nephew, my aunt's kid, my mom really just tell my aunt to say that, after I go away, leave this world, like, can you please take care of my son? And my aunt, I feel like the elder generational women of this Chinese population are really just super tough and empathetic, and I have so much respect for them, including my mom and my aunt. And unfortunately, there is also some disadvantage for them, which is that in the time that they were born, they were unable to even get fed, literally unable to get fed by any food, because you know that back in the early 16th and 17th in China, we had a terrible thing that's called the Cultural Revolution, which means that farmers' lives were destroyed, which my family background came from. So I think my mom and my aunt were tough women, and they are just people that I have so much respect for, and I aspire to be like them, because right now over the world in a lot of countries there's female presidents, female prime ministers. So I guess there's no way that, like, from the bottom of my heart, I have so much respect for the ladies that are really being like awesome, okay? Just fucking legitimately outcompete guys on crucial areas in the society. But in China, it's a different thing, dude. Like, I have told about this before in the past. I feel like, the feminist movement was a good thing, but in China, it turned to something that into an, okay, now, like, just fucking, what the fuck, like, just coming to a ban on this Chinese media for no reason. Okay, good. Probably your AI is way more intelligent than like the way AI that we can imagine over the last 10 years. So I guess, yeah, you smart AI system. So anyways, guys, I actually have really came to the conclusion that, like tough eras will make tough people. And this era makes soft people. And I was one of those soft people. I wouldn't lie to you, like after my mom passed away, I was so totally wiped out as a person. I think basically I was just pretty much about to. I was spiritually dying, dead, but like I'm holding on physically. But when you lost your soul, what's the point if you just keeping on your physical body? And I think what came on is the law from the relatives around you. My mom's side of the family, which is so beautiful, and also my aunts, which is my father's side of the family, is the only member, which is also a tough, wonderful women. And I feel like, like being in the origin of Chinese impoverished countryside and really trying to make it in Chinese city. I think that's something that I feel like my aunt is absolutely incredible at. And for my mom, it's the same thing. So ladies are just so incredible in China, I would say. And I just have a very unique father that let me view things differently in a major way, because my father is such a scumbag that the negative impact that he exerted on my mom and me was just something that's, I would say, nuclear level damaging in terms of a person's soul. That's what my father did to my mom and me. And I almost at one point do like, because you guys know what I've been stepping into for the last couple of years. And my father was just being such a person that's just so over the balance that I couldn't even imagine that it could get lower than that. But my father just fucking really made history and breaks the lower point. So I wouldn't really try to introduce to you that how much of a scumbag my father is. If you are OG in this channel, you probably know. But the most important thing is that today is actually my father's birthday, so I actually attended his birthday celebration with my aunt. I think my aunt is paying for it, but I don't know. Because my father is just such a fucking pussy that he would just like gamble and lose like a lot of money drunk, while me and one of his closest friends would just tell him to do like don't fucking do this thing. Like you're gonna get in fucking slayed in the table, and like coming from me, like his only son, and coming from his best fucking brother, totally didn't affect him. Okay, didn't really make an impact at all. He just went out there fucking lost over $50 and was like, yeah, bro, I fucking lost like over $50. What is saying, bro? Like $50, what is saying? Like, if it's in America, dude, this is not a small fucking price to pay for being stupid, all right? But it's who my father was. And you can imagine the pain that he has wreaked havoc my mom and me, because I would say I was immature and start to hear that for one seven two, bro. Like I know, bro. Like there's just sad stories that's happening to some people, and unfortunately, was on one in those scenarios. But like, what I gotta do is just adapt, and I'm fighting for myself because of things that I know that my mom just wouldn't want me to just totally surrender to life, to say, hey, just fucking shoot me in the head. But I think my father did want it. My father did want me to get shot in the head, because through his behavior, I can see that he never holds back, and he has no bottom lower that he can go through, even for his son. So I witnessed that one of his best brothers. Okay, when I mean brothers, I mean best friends, because the only senior we have in the family is my aunts, my father's only cousins, and in my generation, you know that the one child policy. So I am the only children that was illegally allowed to be born. So I don't know why I'm here, bro. Like without brother or sister, because tonight actually went back to reunite with my mom's side of the family. I love my aunts. My father's cousin, which my father was being crazy and wanted to like. I Bill. Hey, Christopher, bro. What do you mean? You're trying to troll? Okay, no matter what, dude. Like, fuck you, dude. If I misunderstand you, I will apologize later. But like, if you're trying to troll, dude, with your name, I'm like, fuck you. 我超爱中国，如果有任何人说这种污蔑性的话，我会去举报给公安机关，然后让公安机关去知道事情的真相。因为 like 我已经经过了这一步，所以你觉得现在我会怕这种事情吗？我还会怕吗？ No, fuck no. Hey Christopher, maybe I understand misunderstood you, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Like, home forgot. Hey, Bill, great to see you away from that old toxic living location. Yeah, bro, that's a fucking freedom, American freedom spirit that I come back to, bro. And now it's time for me to, really live that dream in terms of my emotional and spiritual freedom that I have. So, bro, yeah, I'm happy that this has happened. Although it's at the dispense of, we as a family, but like, is this my father really my family too? Like, yeah, like in terms of bloodline, he is, but like, especially between me and my father, with the positive we have faced, which left him with one son that he got, which is me, and still he managed to fucking really just infuriate me on levels that just reminded me of his former self, which definitely he's never changed. And I'm like, okay, you're like, in a way, and almost like for the last 27 years or so in my life, dude, I almost spent 26 years living under that fucking mental prison and mental torture and physical torture that he unleashed upon my mom and me. So, bro, like, it's really so good to get out of that toxic environment. And, bro, I would definitely thank you for having being my real brother that I actually didn't have in China. Like real. I do have real brothers in China, bro. In terms of not bloodline connected, but bro, for you are the ones that practically were really checking up on me, bro, and providing me with your very useful suggestions and tips about how I should move forward. And I definitely think this step of just moving out of living with my father to move back to my own apartment, and my mom feel like that's the only thing that she can let me with, which she was wrong, The thing that my mom can let me with, because she has been so belittled and trolled by my father that like I think she lost herself, and I think I lost myself for the majority of my life. And now I'm happy to recognize this issue, how severe it is, and I feel like I'm not going to fucking tolerate that shit anymore, bro. So yes, and I feel like, bro, like today actually I attended, one thing in the noon, which is my father's birthday, and one thing in the dinner, which is, my mom's side of the relatives, my cousin, big cousins that organizes that we had. And it's a beautiful thing because, like bro, you know me as a 27-year-old Chinese guy, dude. I had to adapt to Chinese culture. Although mentally, I'm pretty much not Chinese in terms of cultural traditions, but I had to be a real Chinese. I'm proud to be a Chinese, but those things I really don't agree with, but I have to like adapt to it, which is that, you got this red pocket thing, which is that, when I was a kid, I received red pockets from my relatives, my cousin, yeah, big brother, my mom's brother's kid. Okay, he's my cousin. Let's put it that way in terms of Chinese culture. And he has given me this Chinese traditional thing, which is the red pocket, and which is, you just. But this is actually a very nice thing, I think, because it's an exchange. It's not like you just like give red pockets, which is money, to your kids indefinitely. It's actually something that you give to each other back and forth. And right now, today was actually the first time I ever, you know, although I'm pretty much broke right now, actually in debt, but I try my best because, this big brother that I have in China, because she loved me so much, like she loved my mom just like how much I love my aunt. It's the same thing, like we just appreciate their love and the toughness that those old OG Chinese women showcase to us. And I feel like, I have to step up my game and just showcase that, hey, like, yeah, bro, like, although I've been through all those shit, bro, but, I gotta do what I gotta do. And, I actually spent $25 to pack up a red pocket to send it to my big bro's kid, only kid, and like he look at me with pride, bro. I'm happy about it because it's not about the money. It's more about the realization that, like my big brother, but so because my mom is so much of an lovely, beautiful person that she just really spread love like Oprah across our family, the relatives, and I think just like my aunt, the impact that she had on me, although, like we're in different situation because I got a scumbag father. My big brother, my cousin, he actually, was really proud to see me hand out the red pockets to his kid. And I was like, bro, like, although I'm broke as hell right now, dude, but being able to do that, I'm like, brother, what's up, brother? And I'm like, I'm fulfilling and really learning from my mom about my mom's beautifulness and generosity and kind-heartedness, which I always feel like there's one thing that I feel quite ashamed about, which is that my mom was just such a beautiful person, but in the meantime, bro, because of the abuse that I went through, witnessing my mom getting abused, my father so much in all aspects, and me too, and my mom trying to step up to protect me, and I feel like father, like at this moment being adult, although my father was plotting to fucking like lock me up in the last month, and he felt terribly, and that's the fucking last straw that burdened the donkey's horseback, if I really made that reference clearly. So, I did really give up and $100 rent each month, but at this moment, for real, economy really, financial really matters a lot to me because I have this injury that I really need to get solved because otherwise it's gonna be something that's gonna like torture me for the later half of my life. So I feel like I'm just really like trying to really put my house behind me. And guys, I actually got one question because like I know that my depression is pretty severe because of what happened in my family. Like all my um straight straight families have died, and I pretty much was only left with one that is not only my family, but is pretty much my number one fucking enemy because of how much hatred I has garnered in the past, witnessing what he did to not only my mom and me. Like he just such a crazy person that I don't think we can ever change him because I was under control of him for the last 2 years. I was still trying my best to like tell him to do things not so stupid, but he won't listen. Even under the strong persuasion of my parents, good friends, a good friend of my parents, which happened to be my uncle, a really good person. And when he visited my mom in the hospital, I saw him really cry. So he's a real man, dude. Like, he's a real man. He has really made himself financially well by doing manual labor and later, becoming an supervisor in this business to actually build something that's really financially well. But he never forgot the history that he had with my mom and my father, and I saw him visiting my mom's in the hospital, and he was tearing up, and I know like my uncle and like my father, bro, because not only my father was not like showing any signs of being her family, his family. He was cursing my mom to die soon. So I think no matter how much of an Jesus heart, which I embrace right now, do like you just cannot forgive him for that kind of load that my father can go into, because that really happened in the last couple months of my mom's life. And I feel like even outsider of my family, good friends, they have known my mom for 2 decades, have the human instinct to cry when he saw a 20-year-old good friend to face death and ultimate suffering. But my father was not only having any of that, but he was like trusting my mom to say, you ain't got a lot of time to live. So I feel like um my father's situation was just so fucking intolerable for any person to have any connection with him, because like he's stupid, he's inhumane, he's absolutely brutal like a barbarian, and he's malicious even towards his own son. He threatened me all the time to like even my boss. I actually guys, I've been talking shit about my boss um for the last couple months, but I was talking shit about my boss that outsourced me to be working in this company, that Shenzhen boss, bro. But for my Chengdu boss, dude, bro, I'm pretty grateful for them, because, like, in Chengdu, yeah, I know that we ain't really making big money here, but like in the suburb of a center city, financially, like, just really giving the employees weekends and legally obeying the labor laws. I think my boss just deserve a lot of respect, and I'm happy to be one of her employees. And as meantime, this time she came back from Shenzhen. She actually has two offices, one in Shenzhen, one in Chengdu. So she's a tough lady, and she actually called me to the office to talk with her, and actually just although we have a professional relationship, but she's always been like a big caring sister, just like you, because she told me that she and her husband, which is also the boss of this Chengdu original companies that I work in, which I signed the labor contract with. She just really care about this situation, because I don't know why it's so obvious, though. Like people just can look at me and just say, "Bro, like, do you have depression?" I'm like, how do you know it? But like, as more and more people ask me about it, bro, I feel like, yeah, it's obvious. Not only because of the reason that my mom passed away, but because of the fact that the absolutely inhumane behaviors that my father made, they were just so insufferable to witness. So definitely, I do have a major mental health issue, and like recently, so I actually had this meeting with my original Chengdu boss, and she was like, "Hey, Bill, like I know, like you have went through some very bad stuff, but like you got really try to get your spirits up and just being a boss that's not only talking to me like a professional boss to inferior subordinates relationship, but also like a person that really care. And that's one reason that I think that the province, the cities that I live in is legendary. It's not because, yeah, like we're financially strong. No, we ain't financially strong in this province, but we have the best people for the most part in this province. Back in World War II, we have like the most brave soldiers to fight the Japanese invasion, and um, to this day, we still have the best people there. Really, like just being humble and being really relatable, even if he or him, what him or she is a boss of an employee that Chicago, which I really appreciate. But still, I would say for my Shenzhen boss, for real, bro, like he's a real fucking like 30 fucking rapacious scumbag boss. But I mean that, guys, I got drink some water and take a leak at this moment, so I'll be right back, fellas. So actually, this is a good day, bro. But I'm just too thirsty, so I got to drink some water, and yeah, I'll be right back. Well, I'm back, and first thing first, gotta go through my homie for a guy's comments, because homie for a guy has been my mentor, my big brother, just like my cousin. I don't think I should use the word cousin. Hey, girl, what's up? How you doing in Germany? How you doing, lady? I love you. Forgot says, oh, I know it's difficult because the place holds both good and difficult memories. Bro, like, the thing is, like, yeah, dude, it does hold difficult memories for me. That's one thing that is tough for me, but, like, being away from my absolutely despicable despicable father is something that I feel like I had to go through, like I had to choose this place to be my my place to live. Although, I basically lose 800, 900 RMB, $100 um rents because of it, because I wasn't collecting the rent money. It's my father who was causing it. And after what happened a couple weeks ago, when I just feel like I was just so overwhelmed with my mental health problem at the moment, and I went to the hospital, and my father just went to say, yo, lock him up, and being drunk and just absolutely being an embarrassment where I feel like, even if I am stranger to me, which is the doctor in the school, in the hospital, like she can through that, like I'm going through some tough shit. A real mental health problem, and also one problem that my boss can see through. And I was quite moved by my Chengdu original boss that she told me that because this company is ran by her and her husband. She told me that, hey Bill, we don't want you to see you just being so beat up and emotionally, spiritually just down from the fact that your mom passed away and your father is such a scumbag, like although this is a corporate culture and I'm your boss, which for the most part, is pretty inhumane. It's just totally professional in China. And this, this boss, I feel like is the best boss that I have. Also, like, I ain't really getting paid a lot, but like she obeys the labor laws here in China, and she really care about me, which is something that I feel like was pretty significant because like she told me that she and her husband, which are the two bosses of my contract bosses that I have, like they really just care about my mental health. Guys, I feel like this is weird, bro. Like, yeah, I do have depression and my mental health issues that I'm using, all kinds of methods that I can find, antidepressants, meditations, physical activity, which is one thing I could not do because of my uh broke broken knee, and she just telling me that, hey Bill, like, I see you making improvements in terms of your spirits, and the next time I come back to Chengdu City, I'd like to see you get more mentally healthy, because in my company, I feel like people, for the most part, we are a very small company, like people never experienced this kind of tough situations. So I was the one that has to went through it, and even worse than it, I got walking cancer, which is my father. It's just making such a negative impact on me, and I even tell myself, okay, like I can tolerate it, but like since what happened when I was really physically and mentally not in a good place, and I went to the hospital, and what my father was saying was like, lock him up, like Donald Trump. And the doctor was like, "Are you fucking insane, dude? Like, your son came to this place because he was having trouble for physical problem and mental problems. So we tried to calm down him for his anxiety issue, and you try to say like whatever, like lock him up, and wow, you are just fucking drunk as a fucking deadbeat, bro." So that is the moment that I decided to fucking just absolutely fucking sever my physical contact with my father, which means uh and $100 sacrifice financially, that as a family, which I don't even know, like are we a family? Like me and my father, like in terms of blood connection, yeah, we are, but like in terms of like real fucking circumstances, not only he and my family is really like someone that's fucking rushing to end Ukraine, which I'm in the Ukraine. Okay, so now now I'm here, and I thought finally moved back to my own apartment. And by the way, the troubles that my father caused to me was so many. Like he, for no reason, tried to cut down my antidepressants by threatening his daughter, and there is one thing that I dislike the most, just threatening people. Although he got a fucking, scolding from the police officer that oversees the neighborhood, but I think like this is the only person that's just so fucking a psychopath that even faced with an police officer which has almost authority and power level in China, that anybody with a common sense would be like, okay, I'll be like absolutely surrendering to you. I'll be calm, chill, fully cooperating. Like my father was like just threatening the police when he once again made that threat to the police. Because guys, this, because we are in such a tight financial position. Although I think living with my father was a real torture, but as long as he just stopped doing what he was doing before, I think I can tolerate still living with him. But like, every time the police can do, the police just could not hold back, because things could not be more transparent when he sees my father. Like, because like in China, bro, like in like United States of America, where police are just like a regular job. Like, police really not only, let's say, in terms of power, have absolute authority, but also in terms of their social and financial status, they really just push them to be one of the most desired positions that's revered by Chinese population, which personally I feel like it should be not be that way. Although I respect the law enforcement, but I feel like they definitely do their job. Is pretty awesome, but like just really just separating themselves financially and in the power structure from the workers who work in the private sector. I don't think that that's a healthy thing. Personal opinion, it's how I feel. And when like my father, he's just so utterly insane that he would, not threaten me. He would even go on to threaten the police. So like I think the police didn't even really meet this kind of fucking douchebags for the majority of their work. And those police officers were young and they have pretty high status quo in the society in terms of financial and social status. But my father was like, just pulling up my supplements. I have this broken knee injury, so I have been taking supplements. And also I have my mental health issues, so I've been trying to taking vitamins too. So he's like, see this, my son is fucking doing drugs. He's crazy, but like, bro, like if you have a normal brain, because my father is just totally living his own world. And the police officer was like, every police officer that we ever get in touch with was like, dude, your father is crazy as hell, dude. And like it's a sensitive topic to really talk about. But last time we had the last interaction with the police, my father was just like, "Yeah, you guys will be responsible for this prick son that I had." And the police was just heckling back at her. Like, I was trying to threaten the police station, police officer. Is that what's going through trying to do? And that police officer repeated a couple times. And my father was like, just absolutely just not phased at all. And so this moment I realized, even though we are in a tough financial situation, but the fact that my father is even that crazy under the most authoritative agency workers in Chinese society. He is that even that crazy. I mean, like he just totally unsavable. Okay, so I was like, dude, I gotta leave. Okay, yeah, we got sacrifice $100 of rent money, but like it's definitely worth it. Consider the fact that I'm already 27 years old, and the mental trauma that my mom had endured for her whole life because my father, and the fact that my mom tell me that, son, the last thing that I would want you to do is that you never like treat this apartment like it's just a apartment you can rent. This apartment that I left for you to be living out with your girlfriend. Although, like I'm still a fat boy right now, dude, but I feel like if I finally click at that moment where I realize, okay, that's not making any sense, and I have to move out, which sacrifice financially for me, but not really for me because my father has been collecting the rent money because he capitalized on the fact that because of how much sadness I have and how much hatred that I have inside for my father, for how he treated my mom in the last couple of weeks of my mom's life, dude. I think like if you're a real son, like you should kill that guy. As extreme as it sounds, but I know like this emotionally the right thing to do, but legally this the wrong thing to do. So I didn't choose to do it. And my father's thoroughness just I sorry that I was buffering on my VPN. This is something that happened quite frequently, and okay, now let me go through the comments of my fucking real brothers and sisters in another continent. But spiritually, Like, I understand fucking neighborhoods. Just say, hey Bill, ha ha ha, hey clear is just such an awesome lady from Germany. Only for guys said, I still wonder about the new life amongst sin diaspora in a different country might provide a new star. Maybe Germany? Germany? Well, hello, glitter. Yo, like, since China, bro, like, okay, now we back into politics. So the only countries that usually open free visa to China is Russia, bro. And Germany definitely seemed like an ideal country that I would want to go to, bro. But as the meantime, bro, like I don't have enough money to showcase to the Germany embassy in China, because for the most part they would require you to have enough savings in your bank account to show that you ain't gonna be one of those Chinese illegal immigrants, because like, bro, like people, so like people in third world countries, which is like China, always talk about, hey, you fuck yeah, respect to China. I'm like, bro, do you realize the fact, yeah, China's fucking powerful and tough, strong, dude? But people who are living here, bro, is basically living in the same environment, earning the same money, and basically everything is the same in your country, bro. Like, besides the fact that China is like tougher in terms of their country's strengths financially and militarily. But for individuals, citizens living in the country, bro, like this is actually one thing that, finally, like even those like really pro Chinese government people that we we saw that their mind could never change, would be actually furious about the fact that people who work in the public sector, who work for the government employees, earn 2 times more than the people who were retiring in the private sector in terms of their pension money. And it's just something so fucked up, dude. Something so fucking absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I say it loud and clear. It does not make sense, because like, what's the core socialist core values that we have it plastered all across the country, all across each city, which is freedom, democracy, respect, and some other stuff, like in terms of equality, dude, like this thing does not make any sense at all. Okay, so the fact that people who retire from the government branch can get 2 times more pension compared to people who work in the private sector do. There's definitely something that's an abomination, but I feel like there's no way that I have voice to speak about it and just try to really make those values that just plaster across all cities in this big China country. Equality, fair, okay, does that make sense? Just because you work in the public sector, you're gonna make double pension, and while you are working, you're gonna have way more of a working situation compared for 95% of people who work in the private sector, which means that in the public sector, you're gonna have a standard 9 to 5, even more than it, and like you're gonna fully get protected from the labor law, and you're gonna have double the pension of the people who work in the private sector. So I think that's definitely something that I've been talking about a lot, which I don't even know if there's something that I should be talking about, because that's probably gonna land me another peace session with a police officer. But like, come on, man, it is real, okay? I'm not lying. So if really fast become our reasons that I come to cherish you in a way that's actually making me very terrified. I feel like there's just something that I was saying I do not want to happen, because I do wish my country to be better, but and with I'm not a politician, and no, I am not in the way to be a politician as well. Do you think that if I run for mayor of Chengdu City, bro, like there's gonna be any people that's gonna know that there's another candidate there, bro? Not even close. Not even close. So, uh, that's politics. That's politics. So we try to chew on that side for the most part, bro. Because I really do not want to end up being behind bars. So I'm trying to as legal as I can in this situation. Okay, plugged in. So today actually is a pretty nice day, bro. Guys, even if you could, I don't think you would want to, because of you have to do how you be forced to online. Yeah, bro. Like for me, spiritually, it is really hard for me. Like my friends always like think I'm stubborn because of like my personal opinions. They think I'm stubborn, and to be honest, like yes, I am stubborn, but I'm trying to be flexible as meantime. So yeah, I wouldn't want to do something that's gonna sabotage my autonomy, my mental freedom, and you know, bro. So you're definitely right about it. And we're talking about Germany. Can I immigrate to Germany for real, dude? Because now he's fucking Donald Trump in the Oval Office. And if I had to choose another country, I would definitely say Germany. Germany. That's a fucking country that if I have a chance, I would choose. Yeah, because you're here clear. And you can be my life mentor in Germany if I was able to move into Germany. Have I thought about pathway to become more valuable and more valued other than the changing opportunities, bro? Like about that opportunities, bro, like that changing opportunities ain't really an opportunity, bro, because like what they requested it's just like in a way there's even more low bar in terms of compensation compared to my Chengdu bosses and they in Shenzhen, okay, in Shenzhen, like let's say the real estate market, you know, is 3-4 times more expensive than in Shenzhen. And that also means the living cost is 3 times, 4 times more than in Chengdu. So I don't really think I want to be working with them directly, but as a meantime, I feel I do. I am an American. I do not leave America right now, but I do think I have a dream. I feel like I am America, bro. Because what I seek is freedom, and what I do not tolerate is that shackle on freedom, which is those fucking great Shenzhen bosses. Just imagine you're in Shenzhen, the first first tier city in China, and you're trying to hire a fucking, let's say, a personnel which is going to contribute to your company that you will pretty much pay at least 10,000 salary, and like he actually has the audacity to say, hey, can we just keep paying you 4.5 thousand RMB? I'm like, dude, like I know that yeah, scumbags, rapacious boss, but like, dude, you still like show me that you are pretty much on another level in terms of this scumbagness. Because at least when I was offered the job position in Chengdu, bro, because Chengdu's economy is pretty collapsing and not on the same level compared to Shenzhen, bro. But you, as a Shenzhen boss, you trying to really make it about like pay me as minimum salary because like he knows that like the reason he fucking started to find employee outside Shenzhen is because he knew he can find someone that's gonna like cost very cost effective compared to if he hires someone based in Shenzhen. And I'm like, bro, like don't play the game with me right now because you know I have an American dream or Chinese dream or whatever, German dream, okay? Which is that, people just start small, but through their efforts, they can make what they deserve. And the fact that that changing boss want to send me the message, I knew that how little that changing boss was, because like he just absolutely shocked me, because I didn't realize that Boston Shenzhen, we had previous negotiation can be that low, bro. Like it's just too low, bro, for a boss. And right now I definitely think I'm in position to get a raise, but I think my raise is at least gonna be a basis salary of 7,000 RMB. If Because he like was proposing to me and saying that, can you accept 4.5 RMB, 1,000 RMB? I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like based on my contribution to the company, you think that's gonna fucking like making any sense to me, dude? Like hell fucking not. Hell no. And so the Shinjin boss was definitely someone that I have no respect over, because I do respect the private sector in China, but like if you're trying to just oppress people on such a level that it's laughable, I feel like you are the real joke. Because, like, I'll be honest right now, like, he needs me more than I needed him. So I pretty much, let's say if I'm based in Shenzhen, I can command a salary of 10,000 RMB. But like that dude was like absolutely just so great, and in terms of job selection, I definitely would not recommend to be working for him, because, bro, like, only for a guy actually just search it up about the company. Me too, I searched it up about the company, and the only feedback that we got from one of its former employee was like, this company is fucking fucked up, which I can see is definitely the case. And I definitely see that I do not want to work for that company, because, like, yeah, I know that for the most part, most Chinese companies will not obey the basic labor laws we have here. Laws we have here. But, like, even in Chengdu, I got a company that hired me that obey the labor laws. So I'm like, what's wrong with you, dude? Like, you want to disobey the labor laws and pay me the fucking salary that I fucking receive in Chengdu, bro? Come on, man. Like, so I have total disrespect for that company, for that boss, until he has proven to me that he's fucking normal. So I still have the kind heart in my heart, which I think that he's gonna fucking realize what's up. And yeah, let's see. If he doesn't, bro, I would say I'll be really proud to quit, because for that kind of boss, yeah, I will lose. I will lose. But like for him, it's more of a loss. For me, it's his work, bro. Also, in this summer, I ain't got too many job opportunities. But if I went to downtown, I can easily get a job that's gonna pay me that kind of salary that doesn't even require that much criteria at all. So, oh my God. So, yeah, I really hate my boss, but I think now it's a show time. So, they just show. So, yeah, I think I'll linger on the job situation too much. Today's our weekends. So, we should be fucking celebrating instead of um giving any attention to the Shenzhen boss at all. At all. Not even just like I actually developed a not mindset which is that when I have to negotiate with the Shenzhen boss I basically view him as my father. And that's gonna give me more um, confidence and leverage to be sta- steadfast and unwavering in my negotiation because he has been trying to dodge that issue, and I'm like, dude, like, don't be a fucking pussy, dude. Like, you are a fucking real boss that's fucking making millions a year, and you can put this kind of thing where the whole company behind you. You ain't gonna find nobody in the company that will be able to speak English better than me. And you are working in that industry, so for that boss to start to say it, bro, but I have no respect over him at all. So that's right. Anyway, guys, I gotta go get some water. I need water because my tongue is getting thirsty. Oh, now we're good, guys. So like capitalism, I think is good. It's pretty nice because it allows people to compete in ways that's really fair, but also it has its flaws. But in China, bro, in the private sector, it's capitalism that only has its flaws, and it really doesn't showcase the merits of capitalism. And I just think like I'm unfortunately working with this Shenzhen boss and totally a fucking snake, and I have the exact opposite opinion compared to my Chengdu boss, which is a human that's starting from Sichuan province and later, being able to start a company in the best year of China's economy, where she was able to, really create this business, and she really was smart to capture the trend when it was the best time of China financially, but now like we are facing a day where those things are just over for people that are in Gen Z. Gen Z people in China, bro, are gonna fucking suffer the toughest in terms of career and business opportunities. And okay, that's all bunch of professional talk, but well, yeah, I'm just using as a case because I was quite moved by the fact that when my original Chengdu boss that signed a contract with me, tell me that she just really care about my mental health, and I don't know why that she care about my mental health because as boss, bro. But I think caring about your employees' mental health is pretty rare in China. And my boss was caring enough to be looking after me in terms of my mental health. Like, uh, I don't know, guys. Yeah, I am depressed, but I don't think like you can just view it, diagnose it just physically. But my boss was like, yeah, I can see you, young man, you're like you pretty dying depressed. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And pretty much I don't want people to know that I'm depressed in the Chinese workplace. Let's say if I showcase this to my Shenzhen boss that I'm actually working for, I feel like there's definitely gonna be a disadvantage where he's like, you depressed, so you gone, which I have no problem with because I don't really want to fucking work with that kind of boss. And anyways, dude, now in suburb, I have this situation where I think I'm putting my heart and so into it where even that stringent boss, I feel like he's in a tough situation where he has to fucking just be fair and give me a raise. But like if he tried to play games like he was doing his last time we negotiated, bro, I'm gonna just be like, hey dude, good luck with you. Replace me. Try finding something else. And really, like, yeah, I do have a survival issue with my debt situation, but I just don't really want to fucking like work for you because you in a boss that I feel I deserve any respect. Because like you guys know, like in China, we have this thing called 暴发户, which means that people who just catch the trend and fucking make money on that trend, and we call them 暴发户. And the meaning behind that word in a more subtle way is that those people just do not really fucking give a shit about labor laws in China and are just being a fucking hooligan, a fucking leech of their employees. So I feel like no, fuck no, like definitely I want to have a win-win situation where in which he pays me figuring out money, which is supposed to be like, let's say 10 10K, but like I'm requesting actually just 7K. And if he is gonna negotiate down that basic salary, dude, I'm gonna be like, dude, go fuck yourself. I'm out of here, dude. So suck a dick. Cause the last time that we had that negotiation, homie for a guy knows that situation too well, bro. Like he wants me to go to Shenzhen, which is the first tier financial city in China. Every piece of land in Shenzhen is golden. Okay, and he was like, okay, bro, come to Shenzhen. Because I originally said like the minimum is at 10K. Like, and he's trying to pull some Donald Trump as a dude bullshit, like 8,000. And later he called me and we connected on the phone. I'm like, no, that's bare minimum. Okay? Because I'm not stupid. And I think you are not stupid too. Unless you have no conscience. And yeah, he later agreed to 10,000, but this Simeon proposal was just absolutely unnerving, and I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself. I really do not want to work with you. So I stay in Chengdu. So now I'm making very little money, but at this time into at least I'm getting a raise. That's case too, but if it's less than 6,000 RMB for I how much I got paid, bro, I would go straight up to say, go fuck yourself. All right. And yeah, I hope that he will not be that kind of person in this time because he already did once. If he did one more time, dude, I really go say, dude, go fuck yourself. And that's gonna be win lose for you. It's gonna be a win for me, but it's gonna be a lose for you. And do you think I care if you are such a shitty boss? No, I ain't gonna give a fuck. If I'm a Chengdu original boss, too, yeah, I would care about you. I would actually, even be getting paid less to work for you because you're a good boss. And the fact that my father just seeing my mental health is like at this moment, my father even thinks that I have no physical problems about my knee, which is just something that's just so crazy that the only thing that can explain that to him is the fact that he's just so schizophrenic for real and out of touch with reality. And I think I don't want that to happen in this fucking company because I feel like this boss really look after me because in China's workplace, as I have tell you, bro, sis, it's really tough. It's either like getting eaten alive or you being proactive and to fight so hard that you get what you really just deserve in terms of the labor law. So This is for work, guys. I was trying to, but like somehow it lets you work, bro. But that's what I'm saying, bro, because that boss was just so fucking shady. So it was something that I just really do not want to let him have what he wanted. Just like my father got what he wanted. Like he has been unemployed for a couple months, so for him, like his toxic personality is that he got try do whatever he can to try to create trouble, try to impact people's life in a negative way as much as possible. So I have seen that pattern all across my childhood until now. And, in the past, I actually had a very, let's say, thought that I regret, which is that my mom was, even though like I made the proactive decision to move my mom out of the apartment, but my father still fucking knock on the door, try to fucking let my mom give her hard-earned money to him, and cursing at my mom to say that she will die soon. So like, as a son that has a great mother, bro, I think you can really imagine what kind of an outrage that generated in me, in my soul. And I think that's really bad for my mental health. And right now, finally getting out of that place too. And bro, like being back in my own apartment is such an awesome thing. And yeah, bro, like those professional problems and those family problems, I ain't gonna be a bitch about it no more. Cause in my most vulnerable time, dude, my father took advantage of that and turned me into someone that's just being a victim of his physical and verbal and spiritual abuses, because that's who he is, like he has to create drama and fight between people. Our lives, you know, they just fucking doesn't make him happy, like this it's just he's with the habits. Okay, and guys, I think I have like really been sharing the most authentic part about me, and I just appreciate you for being here, homies. Like I know, based on my father, I'm like basically because this was my boss, my original Chengdu boss who signed the labor contract with me, who really care about my mental health. And he was like, hey Bill, you're my employee. I know that you had a very tragic family situation. Um, but it means that you gotta love yourself, Bill. Me as a boss, we are in an professional relationship. I want you to really get your mental health together so you can overcome the depths of absolute desperation and sadness that you went through, and get better so little by little. I would like to see that. And she also told me that her husband, who was the boss of the company, also really care about my mental health. So I was really so moved by it, and I feel like I really like I will even try to just work for my Chengdu bosses for the same money, even if I got paid more from the Shenzhen bosses, because he was just such a rapacious scumbag that just totally disappoints me as a boss. Although this like the norm in China, bro, but what I have to face is that, bro, like if I ain't really connecting with you, dude, go fuck yourself, okay? And the reasons that I do not connect with you is just not really serious. It's just basic factors like, are you a person that respects and honors the labor laws, which is the law in China? And are you a person that's living in a first tier city in China and you're trying to exploit people on levels that only a third, fourth tier city boss in China would do to their employees? So I definitely think that let's see how he wound up giving me the satisfying plan that he says that he will give me, and I hope this is gonna be a satisfying plan because last time, dude, is absolutely ri- ridiculous. So yeah, but guys, fellas, homies, I regret actually talking about those things too much because this time is actually, still in the weekends in China. And by the way, how's your weekend? I hope it's been going well. In America, it's still, early Saturday, and in Europe, it's still weekends too. So I hope you guys are really enjoying your weekends. And guys, I have been actually cut down from my antidepressant for the last couple weeks because the tightening on antidepressants have been very severely more tightened. And I feel like this is a really bad thing because, homie, you know me, is that not only I have to go through the mental health struggle, but in the meantime, I have to go through the physical pain struggle of my knee and the fact that
those policies that we now have here, which, China has a very fierce battle against drug. Even weed is viewed as a drug. If you sell weed, let's say over like a very pittance amount of weed, you're gonna fucking get beheaded, okay? Be shot by a bullet onto your brain. So I definitely think this is something that's like too not scientific, because like definitely drugs are bad things, but as meantime, alcohol and cigarettes are bad things too. And if you do not acknowledge those issues and you try to, just behead people in terms of weed, I'm like, this is not making sense. If you have an intelligence, because weed and cigarette is not something that's on the same level in terms of how hurtful it is to a human body. And also, it's the same thing when you compare weed to alcohol, okay? Like, weed is definitely way more healthy compared to cigarettes and alcohol. But cigarettes and alcohol is legal here, but weed is illegal. And if you got weed, selling weeds, you go to prison, probably get your head shot by a bullet. And I feel like it's definitely not making any sense. So honestly, I never tried weed in my lifetime, although I had a chance to try it back when I was in the States. But here, I just think this policy is not making sense, because for health reasons, we compared to cigarettes and alcohol is a thing that is the most healthy selection compared to those two things, because those two things cause you cancer. Weed might cause you to be a retard, but it ain't gonna really jeopardize your health so much. So, that's my opinion. But anyways, I think that's about it. For I still want about new life amongst China. Diaspora in a different country might provide a new start. Maybe Germany. Hello. Hey, bro. Like, yeah. Like, if I'm healthy in terms of my knee, I think I definitely have the chance to go into a new country like Germany, bro. But my physical handicap of my knee injury really just made a huge impediment in terms of if I'm trying to immigrate, like being physically healthy is one of the most basic requirements when it comes to you immigrating to another developed country. And for my knee injury issue, that part, that decimated my hope for going to Germany. Okay. And at this time, bro, I'll be right back, homie. I love you so much, clear. Before that, I'm so happy to see you today. And it's wonderful. And tomorrow, my antidepressants will be arriving, and I feel like it's gonna be a good day. So I'll be right back, homies. I'll be right back.
Well, I managed to online on this Chinese social media platform, which I didn't expect. And damn, dude, it's pretty cold right now. It's pretty cold, freezing right now. Let me actually put on my jacket. And Home for guys said, I stand with Trump. This law guy too. Good for you, bro. Like freedom of speech, freedom of political choice. It's about the beauty of American, which is good for you, dude. Um, for guys that do need any more data points to pound around Shenzhen, bro. I think at this point, bro, I don't need it, bro, because you have provide me enough about the situation in Shenzhen, and I also have been searching about it, dude, because like Shenzhen is like 2 times more financially developing Chengdu, bro, and so like it's pretty clear at this point. So, bro, like I'm good on this, bro. No worry, you know. And I really appreciate the advice you have provided me so far. And by the way, now it's 4 a.m. Although it's weekends, bro, but like this is a good sign that I'm able to, like see my aunts and my uncle and my father's birthday, and see my mom's side of the family, which I think are just so many good people, so many good relatives that I have. They're just like you. I think they have that kind of heart, and I'm just so disappointed by my father that he's just such a lowbrow, crazy person, lunatic, compared to those relatives I have that do not have straight blood connection with me. And, it is what it is. That's my fucking biological father, but in terms of my heart, dude, I feel like I would rather not be born with this biological father, because his behavior is just so horrendous that I think even if you're fucking Michael Jordan, under the impact of such kind of father, dude, you're gonna become Anthony Bennett, which was the number one boss in NBA. Okay, so guys, let me try to wear my jackets and boil the water and take my sleeping pills. So, fellas, I'll be right back with you. I love you so much. I love you so much, homies, bro. That's for the boys on MTV. Okay, where's my cup? Where's my cup? Damn. I don't know where's my cup right now, dude. It's a little bit confusing right now because this apartment is pretty small. Okay, it's actually in the bathroom, so I didn't find it. Alright, good. We got some hot water. It's a great thing that I should be grateful about. And now it's time for us to fucking taste the sleeping pills. It's time for our sleeping pills. Like I said, drugs here have a two-tier definition. Drugs as in useful therapeutic, legitimately use type. Yeah, for sure. Drugs as in the abuse, money-making, damaging use sort is definitely the bad one about drug. And like China's crackdown on drugs is pretty intense. So it's way more intense than even Philippines, I think. So even like the most basic painkillers like tomato is viewed like some medicines that's gonna be they have been heavily regulated by the government agency, and it's just some basic painkiller that has no connection with any of drug connection at all. It's just a basic painkiller. So I would say China's crackdown on drug is now at the moment it's pretty much too intense, where people who have chronic pain, chronic illness are being heavily impacted about this policy, which means that they're gonna pay more money for it in the hospital, and that's a pretty sad thing. This contest, right? Just as third bill, I have to go flying. My battery is low. See you, love you. Hey, Glitter. Definitely love you, and I'll see you. I'm just really grateful that I got to see you today. And tomorrow, with my antidepressants that have been offered me for the last week, and I feel like tomorrow is gonna be very good. Wait, it's Sunday. No, it's almost 5 a.m. So I assume that I'm probably gonna wake up at 1 p.m. in the afternoon in Sunday in China, and I hope people in America and you're gonna enjoy their weekends, and you know, that's something that I hope will be awesome. Humphrey also said you can still feign appreciation while speaking different, better employment upgrades. Bro, I think that's definitely gonna be my strategy that I have been using this strategy alongside all along with negotiating process so far. Like I said, of course, it isn't published or Chengdu boss. You had to take care how you frame rejecting. It's logical to, hey, that is logistically and financially regressive, but even if you could, I think you want to because of you have to do how you be focused online, bro. For real, at this moment, like I definitely like the first proposal which I received my highest Chinese salary offer is definitely a ridiculous situation that, bro, you know it best, like a situation where the boss is just so fucking absurd, which almost reminded me of my father. Let's say he's a counterpart of my father in the workplace, and I'm like disgusted by that offer. Okay, okay, like he should at least double my salary for that kind of request. And I'm definitely saying no, and I think ain't nobody is gonna say fucking yes to that kind of offer, because if I'm in that kind of position, I feel like you're definitely in like too retarded. Okay, even someone as retarded like me can recognize how fucking delusional that boss is, and how much of an offer that is just so unfast fashionable that he even has the audacity to fucking say it to me, and even starting as a bargaining price of 8 RMB. I'm like, dude, like, so this boss is someone I don't like, but because of how much I appreciate my Chengdu boss for her care about me, about my mental health issue, and just not being like a regular boss in China, which is like their boss do. Like I think I really appreciate her, and she really gave me this job opportunities that I have actually worked the longest in my career, and I appreciate her so much. And she's a good boss. I would say she's a good boss. And in the meantime, though, my funny thing is that because fellas, I always wear black coat, so she saw that I always like kept wearing the same clothes and never wash it over. She also told about me. Hey Bill, how about your hygiene? I'm like, bro, she said, like I saw you wearing the same black coats. Well, I came back to Chengdu City. I'm like, yo, boss, you totally fucking misunderstood me because I just think black is a color that I prefer if I have to choose between our colors. So I bought all those very cheap Chinese Tamil black coats. So I actually am, washing my clothes up and changing it into another coat. But because it's so black, so you probably think I'm wearing the same like coat, which doesn't make sense at all. I wouldn't even feel comfortable in that situation, let alone about like, let's say, a corporate culture where you have just to be, let's say, decent in terms of your suit. And definitely I receive some advice from her, and I feel like it's really hard to meet a boss like this, although the pay ain't too high. But she, at this small suburb in Chengdu, the value and the care that she gave for me as a boss is something that's pretty rare to find, because the fact that she's able to offer employee weekends, which like a 96 working schedule and weekends for people to employees to just have their own personal time. I feel like there's just something that's supposed to be so normalized, but unfortunately, yeah, in the private sector, it's just something that's just so rare that I think only probably 5% of the bosses actually gave them their colleagues, their inferiors, their employees, the legit weekends that is actually under the labor law in China. Okay, I can work without weekends, bro. If you pay me more, but it, it's just ridiculous. The workplace situation in China where people just, normalize working 996, and I think the fact that my boss is able to do this thing is something that's really admirable, because weekends are just like people probably just um look down on a 9 to 5 job. But like, to be honest, in China, bro, a 9 to 5 is something to be looked up into because of how fucked up the work situation in China is. So I think she's an amazing boss, and tomorrow I feel like it's gonna be amazing because the antidepressants that I have stopped taking for 1 2 weeks because of the prescription issue. Because actually, in this small suburb that I live in, the
that antidepressant was actually unavailable in the hospital, so I have to buy online. And if you're gonna buy online, you gotta present the prescription. But because we don't have that medicine in this town, I could not produce it for them. I would just have my doctors testify that that's what they recommended for me to have that antidepressant. And it has been stopped for a week, and now tomorrow I'm gonna finally get those antidepressants back. So I feel pretty excited about it because I feel like it really amended my mental health. And I feel like recently what has been happening is just a series of events that have really helped my mental health to get better. And yeah, I'm even smoking way less cigarettes, so I feel like I am under the right direction. Although right now, because I'm too thirsty, so I might speak like Forrest Gump, which I love. Definitely not Forrest Gump. Oh man, it's so good. When you are thirsty, your tongue, it's so good to have some water that's lubricating your tongue, so you can go back to speaking normally. And actually, at this time, 5 a.m., bro, because I used to not take painkillers for the night, and the pain is just too intense from my knees. So I was actually unable to sleep the whole night. I closed my eyes and I was just not asleep. So it's just such a terrible feeling because next day you go back to work, and I think that's a major detriment to your mental health when you do not have a little bit of sleep at all, and you wake up the next day. Like, I am not Donald Trump or Japan's first prime minister, which by mm, by some mysterious reasons, Japan and China have some major problems, which I always feel like this kind of thing, because like it just happens time and time again. Right now, I see why I do. Like, yeah, we have like stupid TV shows in China where it shows that one Chinese like kung fu fighter just fucking tears up 100 Japanese soldiers in one battle and throw up a grenade to fucking bomb a Japanese fighter jet, that kind of stuff. But in fact, actually, I have so much respect for those patriotic Chinese soldiers, especially the soldiers from where I come from, the Sichuan province. Like, they're just so brave, they're so patriotic that although they were under another government, Chinese government, they were just so badass, even faced with the Japanese army and
Air Force is way more superior than the Chinese military forces. Like they were just fearless, and unfortunately, because of the artillery and equipment differences, Chinese soldiers lost their life a lot. Like 3 means Chinese soldier dies, if that's why I remember correct, and it's just because of the equipment that is just so different from Japanese army, which was fucking like spanked by Marines from the United States, which was such a good alliance that we had back in World War II, which we unfortunately have like lost it. So my ADHD just kept kicking. So I was like, what I was trying to say? Okay. I think I was just trying to say that I really am proud to be someone who came from this Chinese province that, I think you like it, you probably don't know about where I came from. This Sichuan province, Chengdu City, capital of Sichuan province. But you definitely know Sichuan chicken, okay? And it's amazing. It's wonderful, right? You love that food. I love that food too. I just love the spicy food of Sichuan, bro. Cause like I definitely think probably unhealthy for your body, but pretty like psychologically and sensationally awesome for you. And there's also one element that represents the spirit of Sichuan province's people. But unfortunately, nowadays, we do have bosses that's fucking good, but for the most part, I think we have been derailed by some of the wrong cultures here, which encourage people to be fucking unscrupulous scumbags to try to ruin people's lives for their personal gains in ways that I think if they have a conscience, they definitely would not do that. But I think they lost their soul, and unfortunately, that's the case. And I think that's pretty much about it, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. It's your friend Bill. I'm about to sign out and go back to sleep. It's 5 a.m. So two actually 1 hour later, we're gonna have a bright day. The sun is coming up, so I think for my mental health purpose, I have to sign out at this point. So fellas, my fam, my brothers and sisters, I love you, and I hope you're gonna have a good day. You're gonna chill. You're gonna like relax and have fun. Better with your family, your loved ones, and I pray for you. I love you, and thank you so much for popping. And hit that like button if you pop into this stream later. They will help with the algorithm. and his like button too. They'll help us with algorithm too. So thank you so much, guys. If you would like to support this channel, do those things, and also if you'd like to support this channel financially for my knee injury, which keep me from moving outside of China, bro. That's actually the most important issue that I face. You can contribute to pitching with PayPal, Patreon, and Bitcoin donation links in the description. So thank you so much. Without you, I would not be here. I probably would be just stuck forever with my father's abuse and do not have the courage to escape outside of that abuse, just like my beautiful mom was going through, because my father was just so fucking sick. So guys, have a great day. I'll be talking back to you soon enough. ASAP. And take care of yourself, eat well, sleep well, and just be well. I love you. So please take care of yourself. Take it easy. Bye, fam. Love you.